Hi guys, it's Sam from Creatively Sam's, and today I'm making artwork ornaments. The baby loves his stars, he loves to color, so I not only got the coloring captured, but I got pictures of him actually doing the artwork. And if you want to see how I did this, stay tuned. It's coming up next. I got this idea a while ago. I picked up some of these large 3-inch stars, the wooden stars, and I had the baby color them, mainly because he just absolutely loves stars. And I dated them. Okay, then I took the stars and I put it on a piece of cardstock and I went around it, and then I cut it out to make a frame. And needless to say, he got the star that was in there. So then I printed out some pictures of him as he was coloring. And they're way too little. But these, you can actually see him coloring the stars. When I got them big enough where I thought that they were going to fit, then I got some of the gloss Mod Podge. And what I'm going to do with the Mod Podge is give this a good coat, and when it dries then I'll cut it out, but I want to coat it while it's still on the original piece of paper. And while this is drying, I'll be coating this side with Mod Podge, and I'll also be drilling a hole at the top so that it can be hung. So we'll be back after I get this painted with the Mod Podge and it dries. Okay, I drilled the holes in the top and I put 2 coats of the glossy Mod Podge on the one side of these, and now as you can see they're totally dry. And I also, there's the other one, I used a toothpick to make sure the hole in the top was didn't have Mod Podge in it. And I put 1 good coat of the glossy Mod Podge on the pictures. So now what I'm going to do is the star that I cut out, I'm going to place over top of the picture and center it the way I want it. And then I'm going to use a pencil to lightly draw it in and then cut it out. Okay, I've got the little pictures cut out. And what I'm going to do is, yes, he colored on the back side of this one. I'm just going to put a nice heavy coat of Mod Podge on the other side. I'm going to try and keep this so that it's smooth. And then just fit that on top. And I'm going to turn this over. Now this is freezer paper, so it has a shiny kind of a non-stick side. And this is what I'm using to put that on top. And I'm going to set this Mod Podge bottle on top to give it some weight so that this starts to dry. And I'm going to come back in about an hour to check it and see how it's doing. But this should give it enough pressure to hold it down in place. And you can see what happens if you don't turn this over and put a weight on it. It starts to lift in the corners. And another nice thing is when you have that hole at the top, you know what way the picture should go. Because it would be a shame to have the hole at the top and the picture be upside down. So I'm just going to keep this vase on it to give it some weight, and we'll be back in about an hour. Okay, this is adhered very well, except it's got a few wrinkles in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another heavy coat of the Mod Podge on top. And then go on from there. But I'm going to put this on here and I'm going to let it completely dry. Okay, I've had these sitting pretty much overnight and they've dried very nicely, nice and shiny. And what I'm going to do is use some of my Folk Art Extreme Glitter paint, and I'm just going to do the outside of the little ornament, and I'm going to be poking that hole through. And I'm just using a toothpick. Put it through the hole, because that Mod Podge does have a tendency to fill it up. But the thing that's really nice about this is I not only have a picture of the baby, which is incredibly sentimental for every Christmas from hereafter, but we have his work captured and sealed. And you can see him working so hard. God love him. He's so proud of himself. Okay, I'm going to do one of these in the Extreme Glitter Gold, and I'm going to do one in the silver. And these definitely need shaken up. And after I get this on the outside of the ornaments, then we're going to touch up the inside, and these are ready to be hung. By laying this paintbrush on the side, you get it just slightly on the edge in the front and in the back. But I'm not actually painting, I'm just kind of dabbing it. I don't know, it's hard to explain how I'm doing this, but it does work. Just kind of load that paintbrush up and lay it on there. And you can see it just gets the very edge, and it gets the very bit of the front too. And once this dries, it's going to have a nice thin layer of the glitter paint showing on the front. Okay, I'm going to sit this on top of the bottle, and when it's dry, we'll come back and get these finished. Okay, now that the paint is dried on the edges, and if you don't get it all, you can go back and touch it up, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I'm just taking a little bit of Mod Podge, and I'm going to paint the outside of the picture with the Mod Podge, and I'm going to be covering it with this extra fine white glitter, and that way it'll show through, but it shouldn't cover up too much. And of course, you know me, I'm always glittering over top of a folded piece of paper, and that way I'm not going to lose any of my glitter, because you know how much I love my glitter. And this is going to give the ornament the reflectiveness from the Christmas lights. And of course, you don't have to do it, but you know my theory is everything's better with glitter. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on here. And I'm going to let this dry before I take a soft paintbrush and get it off of the picture. But you can already see how much that's reflecting and how good that's going to look on a tree. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, they're nice and dry. And I'm just taking this soft, dry brush and brushing all of the excess glitter off of the little ornament. And I didn't want to put it over his little face because it actually is harder to see when there's glitter on top of a picture. And there it is. There's him actually coloring the little star. And that's his artwork. And I'm seriously thinking about seeing if we can get one of these done every year, just to watch his progress. So if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and happy creating, everyone.